Hello everyone! Welcome to the Warriors Den. I'm your host, Emile, aka Space Elephant, and with me, my co-host and also my fitness coach, Damien Kiken.
It's working really well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks,
Hello.
Damien. How are you?
I'm great.
Cool, because we have a lot of information today in this edition of the Warriors Den. We run a little late, guys. Sorry for that. We had some technical issues in the streaming room, but everything should be fixed. And unfortunately, our buddy Roman could not be here today because he's sick at home. But he's with us in thoughts. As usual, Roman is here.
He's pro knight apparently.
Yes, Roman is a knight. Yeah, it's a common knowledge.
So he should be sad for this season.
Yeah. Yes. So no Roman, but more Damien. So yes. It's an interesting compromise.
So I will have to speak about hero balancing stuff.
Absolutely, because
I'm not sure I will be as good as him. Mm-hmm. I don't have his body shape and all, but I will try.
I'm sure you will do your best, Damien, and it will be great. We have a lot of stuff today because we will talk about the upcoming update. So there's an update coming up next week.
Yes.
With a lot of things, actually, a lot of stuff. We'll go a little bit more into detail about it a little later during this stream, but we will start talking about this next update. We will have a special raffle also at the end, but it's not the moment to enter the raffle, guys. The raffle is not open. We saw already a lot of raffle keywords on the chat. It's not the right moment. It will probably be at the end when our community manager Fred will tell you, will give you the go. So please wait for it. But first, Damien, we had some visitors last week.
Yes.
Coming from for the community workshop. We invited some of our top players, some of our community ambassadors here for a special event.
All around the world.
From all around the world, yeah. Yes. It was great. It allowed these guys to gather a lot of constructive feedback on the upcoming content, on the actual game, on a lot of different things. We
can't speak about right now, really, but they played a lot, basically.
They played a lot.
Hell lot. And
yes.
We looked at them playing. We had debrief sessions where we spoke about everything they tested, and we had really interesting feedback.
We had some good poutines. We had smoked meat sandwiches. We had everything about Montreal, basically.
Yeah.
And of course, they played a lot. And if you missed the last Warriors Den, we had these guys as guests playing some duels. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
So if you want to look for it, you can just go on our Twitch channel and look for past broadcasts. You will find the VOD of last week's Warriors Den. But there's something even more interesting that is happening next week, Damien. It's the end of the season 1 in the faction war.
Oh yeah, so who will win?
Yeah, that's a
who
good,
will win.
that's a good question.
Yes, so just as a timeline matter, so next week season ends.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know yet who will be the winner. As we were saying last week, what is really important is for everybody to fight, because if the Knights win the last round, it means that the winners between Viking and Samurai will be based on the number of war assets that have been deployed. So everything counts, every match counts. So people need to play a hell lot to make their faction win. So that's the first thing. And then when the season ends, we'll go in what we call the off-season period. That will last several weeks. And after that off-season period, we'll have the new season coming with the new content that we might speak about a bit more next week.
Yes.
And that's at that moment that the season pass owner will have an early access to some of that content for the whole week before everybody else. So that's how things will work.
All right, so don't miss next week's Warriors Den, because we'll have a lot more information to give you about the faction war, the seasons, and how everything will be managed. Also, there will be a reward for the winning faction.
Yes, but I don't want to speak too much about it. I want to keep it as a surprise. But basically, you will get some exclusive stuff if you win the season.
All right, that sounds good. Sounds good. Also, this week, what did happen on the For Honor team? First thing, we updated the consoles with the last patch, 1.05.
So now console has all the balancing we did in the past weeks. Has also the update of the order system. So now all orders can be done in PvP and in PvAI. We have also
and it's now available for the contract orders today.
So deployment-wise, we don't wanted to remove the orders that players started to play maybe, so we had to wait 2 days, and so it's deployed today. So now we have everything that PC got a few weeks earlier.
And speaking about consoles, there's also something that we want to tell you about the DVR, the video recording capability on Xbox One.
Yeah.
We will do a test this weekend, guys. So we will disable this function, the DVR function on Xbox One, just to do some tests on connectivity.
Yeah, so basically we had, since the last update of the Xbox One OS, we had a new issue on Xbox One, and we did some investigation with Microsoft, and we'd like to test deactivating DVR to see if that's the right lead, the thing we think it is. So we think it's a good way for us to know and to have the proper feedback to see if that's impacting it as much or not.
All right, so let us know if you have any feedback about it.
Yeah.
We will reactivate it next week. But we, like Damien said, we have an interesting lead. We will see if we can solve a few issues from this feature. Now, also this weekend, what's going on? We have a new event order starting today.
Yeah.
It's called Dominion Executions. Yes. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So it's based on perform as many executions as you can in Dominion matches. So that's pretty much it. Still 2,000 reward, 2,000 still as a reward. So pretty huge reward. So
that's a community event. So every execution counts.
Every execution counts.
All right. And also what we're bringing to the game this weekend, we have new elite outfits in the game. And I guess that's enough of the business. Let's show these elite outfits, and right after this very short break, we will deep dive into what's coming up next week. Yes. I think I will get the last Nobushi outfit.
The Nekobushi.
Yeah, the Nekobushi. Cool. So now we're ready to talk a little bit more about this upcoming update, what we call the patch, the version 106 that is coming next week.
Before that,
oh,
there is one thing just before the patch is the Journey in Progress update.
Okay.
So this is both for console and PC players. We will reactivate the Journey in Progress in what we call internally the start flow. So it means as soon as you reach a match, so as soon as you enter in the lobby, you will have Journey in Progress. So this will help for the matches that restart. You know, when you rematch, sometimes you rematch, but you don't have some player left. So new players will come in way more quicker. And it will also have more Journey in Progress before we enter the match than during the match. So it's also better for simulation stability.
That's interesting.
So that's something we will push soon. And then next week, the patch for PC.
Yes.
So yeah.
All right. Are we ready to deep dive into this patch?
Now we are.
All right. There is more details. We released the article this week in For Honor was just released a couple minutes ago, maybe an hour ago. It's on our website on forhonorgame.com. You can go there. The patch, the details about the patch notes are listed in this article. There's also tons of other stuff. There's some cool community creations in this article. There's an update about the faction war as well. But here we want to talk a little bit more, and because we have Damien here, we want to go more into details about this patch. So let's start with the sexy stuff. Stability, because there's a lot of fixes that should improve stability and connectivity in this patch. So that's tell me more, Damien.
That's the first objective of that patch. So we made that patch to improve connectivity and stability issues. The team is working on it since many weeks now to have a stability patch. And then we've put in some hero balancing, but the starting purpose of that patch was to fix stability and connectivity issues. And we improve it on several areas that all impact the stability. One of the areas, the network side of it. So we improved the way we exchange data between players. So on the first side, now we are what we call the data exchange is more resilient between players. So basically, we manage better network fluctuation and packet loss. So sometimes players that have a not as good internet connection have a lot of packet loss. So I send you data, but they don't reach you.
Okay.
So then you're missing data. And with the improvement we've done on that part, we manage that better. Second improvement is that we reduced the amount of data that we exchange between players. So this also helps a lot the players who have a worse connectivity connection, internet connection, so that we can still send the data that is necessary to be reactive in our game. And this one-liner on the patch note is in fact a huge amount of fixes, of optimization everywhere to make that data footprint less. So those two network improvements will really help the stability, and also the fact that players were dropping, were being kicked out of the game because they had a not good enough connection quality, or they were missing too many packets or stuff like that. So it's helping the players with the worst internet connections, but it's also helping everyone because when somebody drops a game, it could impact everybody else.
All right.
That's one area of the improvements. And then another area of the improvement of stability is one of the things we noticed by adding new tracking a few months ago, etc., to try to understand what's going on, that we noticed that performance-wise, when the performance was decreasing, sometimes it was leading to a simulation that couldn't recover, and then a simulation crash, and then end of that match, basically.
Everybody gets disconnected.
Yeah. So we learned by that we had to improve the performance basically. And so it's like reducing the data footprint. Improving the performance is a lot of fixes everywhere that makes the whole thing better. It's pure optimization work. And so in the end, what it does is that it improves the frame rate. When the frame rate is higher, the simulation runs smoother, and then we have less issue of simulation. We also added what we call an LOD, a level of detail management for the special effects, visual effects in the game. Now they are dynamically adjusted because that's one of the things that takes a lot of performance. So sometimes they are dynamically adjusted to not impact too heavily the simulation. We will be quite invisible for the players. It's more a tech thing. But basically, when the visual effects are further in your screen, then we reduce their quality. It's not perceptible, but in the end, it's really helping the performance.
Sometimes it's in the background,
of the
in the map, for example.
Sometimes it's behind you, you don't even see
That's
it, but
true,
it's still taking some performance, etc. And we had also a specific bug on Xbox, so that's different from the DVR thing that we spoke about, is that when players pressed the Xbox One home button, sometimes we had a simulation, a resynchronization that was triggered. So it's something we fixed also.
Yeah, sometimes you just smash the buttons and you click the home button.
And then it's pausing everybody. So that's a fix we did. So basically, the connection error you got, so the 060018 and the 06000021, those messages, we should have less of them now with all those fixes. So that's really like the big bulk of that patch and the big amount of work. A lot of people worked on that to improve the stability of the game. So we can't wait to see the result, to be honest. So, but they did a huge work on that.
Sounds good.
That's coming on PC next week, and then it will arrive on console as usual 1 to 2 weeks after, depending on the validation process of the first
parties, yes.
Sony and Microsoft. We also worked on more the flow, the session match flow, etc. It's one of the things we already discussed a few, maybe last week or the week before, is that we wanted to improve the flow between each match. The game was designed to have rematch, so you enter a game, then you rematch, then there are new players coming in, etc. But right now, most of the player leaves at the end of a match. So to improve that, we are reducing the rematch timer from 90 seconds to 60 seconds. And we're also re-enabling the join in progress in what we call the end flow. So it's in the end lobby. So when you end the match, now people will be able to join your game, vote for the next map, and then go with you. So we will have way more rematches. It will be better when you're grouped, so you don't have to quit, you don't have to maybe have your group disbanded, etc. You can stay in the session, just deploy your asset, do some customization, and then the game goes on, and so you don't have to re-go through the matchmaking, etc. So the join in progress in the end flow is something we will activate when PC and console will get the patch. So we need all platforms to get that patch to reactivate it everywhere. So it's something we want to do so in the coming weeks to improve that. And there was another bug I missed. So it's a bug that sometimes when you were playing the game, sometimes something happens and then you play only against bots, even if you're in a PvP match. So it's a bug we fixed also in that patch. So that's for the stability connectivity improvement. We've also starting an update of the messages. We want to be a bit more transparent about what's going on, because right now it's just a connection error, a number, and that's all. So now we try to be a bit more specific, to try to explain a bit more what's going on and what might have caused that issue. It's only the beginning, but some
Will
of
we
the
get more
message,
information on why we got disconnected?
and some of the message will have a bit more information.
Okay.
So it's also something we are working on. And the last thing, it's completely transparent for the players, but it's very useful for us, is that we've added a lot of tracking stuff, so to understand more what's going on. So server-side networking configuration, stuff like that. We were able to monitor a bit more things on that subject to basically keep continuing to improving the stability and connectivity if we see that it still needs improvement after that patch. So because all of that's a bit of discovery for us, like for the player. So it's something we're continually working on to understand what's going on and how we could improve things. And that's it.
All right.
For the stability update.
That's cool. That's cool. So again, this patch should come early next week. We will give all the details as soon as we have it. But there's not only stability and connectivity fixes. There's some balancing changes.
Yeah. Yes.
So let's dive into it, Damien. The first thing, the Peacekeeper. And the bleed effect.
Yeah. So the
what's going on?
You know, we discovered a bug with the Nobushi, that you could make your opponent bleed even if you weren't touching him. So we fixed that bug on the Nobushi, but then we saw that it was also elsewhere on other heroes like the Peacekeeper. So this will be fixed also in that patch. And we took that time to see if we didn't have the same type of issues on other heroes, on stun, for example, and things like that. So to make sure that everything is fine on that area. So we did a full pass on that subject, and it will be fixed on the next patch. So no more bleed exploits.
Unfortunately for Nobushi players like me, but we need to have a fair game. So
yes.
I will accept that.
I know you can beat people without exploiting.
Yeah. We have a couple things about the Peacekeeper again.
Yes.
I think.
So one of the complaints we have regarding Peacekeeper is the light chain. You know, I light, but then I don't do the full chain. I don't do the heavy. I just light, come back, light, come back, light, come back. And the second light is really hard to react to. How we fixed that is that we didn't make the light attack slower, because then it's a bit going against what is an assassin and what is the Peacekeeper. But we really worked on the recovery and the time of recovery after the second light. So when you do the second light, if you don't chain it with the heavy, you will have a bigger recovery if you hit your opponent or not, or if you get blocked. So basically, if I do light, then and just that, I'm losing my initiative. Okay. And then you can have the upper hand, redo a light against me, block, do a light, etc. Maybe dodge, etc. So it's a way to fight against that soul move of doing light, stopping, light, stopping, light, stopping, etc. So we think it's a good improvement on the Peacekeeper side.
There will be less spamming,
less annoyance of light spam,
light
basically, from that character, without removing the essence of that character.
That's true.
And that's pretty much it.
Next one, the Lawbringer, aka the Lobby.
The Lobby.
The Lovebringer, or the Lobby. We changed a little bit the show of attack.
Yeah, so it's when we, based on the last update we've done, we noticed that there was a bug. Basically, is that when you do the shove and then you do a light, the light should be guaranteed, not guaranteed, but unblockable. And we noticed that if the player was switching stance, then the light was becoming blockable, which is pretty random and really strange. So it's something we fixed. So now, when you do the light after the shove, you will be the light will really be unblockable. But that doesn't mean that the player can't dodge it. Your opponent can still dodge it, but at least all lights are always unblockable after the shove. So it's basically a bug fix.
Cool. Also,
And no, we've updated the area of effect. So it should make the light attack also easier to dodge. So now that it's unblockable, the dodge is also easier to perform, so it's more balanced.
All right, all right. Are we done with the Lawbringer?
We're done with the lobby.
All right. There was also a lot of questions about the Warden. About what's going on with the Warden. Do we plan
shoulder
to?
bash.
Yeah, the famous or the infamous shoulder bash. What can we say today about the Warden?
So one of the things that we didn't really liked on the Warden is that with the shoulder bash, I can cancel it whenever I want to a guard break. So let's say I start the shoulder bash against you, you decide to dodge it, which is a pretty good thing to do, but then I guard break you whenever I want, and so I provoke a reaction that you can do, and then I punish you for that reaction, so it doesn't really make any sense. So one of the things we fixed on that area is that now you can perform the guard break only at the beginning. But if you don't do, then you can't do a guard break on reaction, basically. So I can still think that, you might dodge my shoulder bash, so I can still switch it to a guard break, but I can't do it as soon as I see you dodging, you see what I mean? So I have to commit. I have to commit, like, do I stay on my shoulder bash, or do I decide to move on to a guard break because I think you will dodge? So it's really, it's more becoming a mind game. And this is also true with the cancellation. So if I feint the shoulder bash, before when I was pressing B, cancelling it, I was going back to idle directly. So I could really chain it. I had no recovery time. So now we're adding a 200 millisecond recovery with no defense if you cancel your shoulder bash. So now basically it's more a commitment. It's still a great move and an interesting move for the Warden, but it's more a commitment. It's not a no-brainer like before, like you had no punishment
shoulder bash,
by doing
cancel, guard break.
So exactly.
Okay. That will be a big change because we see a lot of this mechanic being used a lot.
Yeah. So I think it's still keeping its strength, but at the same time we have a better mind game about it, where your opponent can do something about it, can trick you, etc. So can't wait to see the players' feedback on that. But we think it will be a good improvement.
All right, let's jump to the next hero, the Berserker.
The Berserker.
Yes, because we have...
So this one is a bug fix, pretty straightforward. That also came on the last patch, is that we didn't have a guarantee anymore on the forward throw. So your opponent was going up too soon, and basically you didn't have your top heavy guaranteed. So we fixed that basically.
Okay.
So we're restoring the throw follow-up that we had before the last patch.
All right. Also, we fixed a few things about the Orochi.
Yeah. So one of the things we noticed is
that... It's been a while since we touched the Orochi.
One of the things we noticed that pretty much nobody was using the Hurricane Blast, after the deflect, when he's like that, charging. Because you could be interrupted, and it's a long charge. So in high play, it wasn't really useful. So now we are making the Hurricane Blast uninterruptible. So this means that I can still get hit, but it won't cancel it, basically. And then I can change it to a guard break or to my light attack, or just leave it for the heavy to go there. So it's making the Hurricane Blast worth using, and it's bringing some tactics based around that. So because it was a very slow and move, it wasn't really used because everybody were cancelling it with a light attack or something like that. So it's also a way for us to strengthen a bit more the deflect also, because right now it's a bit a no-brainer. Everybody use parry rather than deflect. So it's also a way to re-put value into the deflect, the consequence of the deflect, which is the Hurricane Blast.
Sounds good. I think we should hire actors to reenact our balancing changes here on the Warriors then with real weapons. Because we're moving our hands like this, and when we do the shoulder bash, we should have real actors doing that in front of us. Maybe next time, if we have more budget for this stream. Last but not least, the Shugoki.
Yeah, might be
also called the big
the most weighted fix. It's the Oni charge. So nerf on that on the Oni charge basically. There will be no longer knocks down on contact. So there was an exploit with the Shugoki that you were unlocking, running, doing your Oni charge on your opponent. It was knocking down your opponent, and then you had a free heavy. After the patch, you won't be able to knock down players anymore with your Oni charge. You will still be able to bump them, so if they will still move, if you're on a bridge, they will still fall, etc. So it's still useful, but it's not an exploit, as I can say, anymore. It wasn't really dodgeable before, so we've added a 400 millisecond startup dodge. So that anybody now can, when I start seeing you doing the Oni charge, I can dodge you. And also now the Oni charge, the trajectory of the Oni charge is you have to commit to it, so you can't readapt it with your stick or your mouse. So it's also so it's also asking more skill basically and anticipation on the trajectory from the player. And last thing is that now the stamina doesn't regenerate during the Oni charge. So it's a rebalancing basically of the Oni charge and how it is working. So I don't think we'll see tournaments anymore with a Shugoki just running around, knocking down everybody and then killing everyone. So
that's a great change.
Yes.
So thanks Damien for this update on those heroes. Again, guys, this update is coming early next week for PC, and after usually it takes a week or two for console. The time that it goes through certification, and we'll keep you updated, but it should come a little bit later after on console. If you want to see all of these details, if you want to see the complete patch notes, it's on This Week in For Honor article, so it's on forhonorgame.com. You can find it at the moment, and you can have a written version of what we discussed without Damien, unfortunately, and without the air sword fighting. We got a few questions throughout the week that were sent from our users, so we'll answer a few of them. The first one comes from Wrath46 from the forums. He's asking, does the AFK detection improvement affect players staying still while capturing a zone in Dominion? That's a very good question.
That's a good question. So the AFK system kicks you out after when you stand for a pretty long time. Same thing for the rubber banding. Now with the last patch, it's also detecting that. So it's true that if you stay in a zone, then go somewhere else, stop playing, have a drink or something, you will be kicked out, even if you stay in a Dominion zone. But if you camp that zone, hold it and move a bit, look around, etc., you shouldn't be kicked out. So there is no issue regarding that. If you play, even if you stand a bit still in the zone and move sometime with your camera, that's enough.
But don't go make yourself a sandwich while capturing a zone, for example. Okay, that's right. That's right, because we also tweaked the AFK detection this week.
It's in fact we've updated it with the rubber banding on the last patch. So on the patch that came out this week on console and previous weeks on PC.
So it's now active everywhere.
Yeah. So we're still doing waves of sanctions on people using it. Regularly, so that won't stop. We're still banning player for that, etc. With warning before, of course. So we're not banning you right away, but if you continue doing it, even if you shouldn't, then we act on it. But now it will be harder to do it.
All right, sounds good. Question number 2 by Klika from Twitter. Last time he asked for an i5. This time he's asking how many people are actually working on the game. Is there a lot of people working, or is it only the microtransaction people working working on the game at the moment?
So we're a huge team. We already said it before. Working on the game, people working on new content is not the biggest part of the team by far. And you can see that with all the patches we've done recently, with all the things. So it's a big team with a lot of programmers and people working on all of the areas of the game.
Fields of
you will
jobs.
see it with the new season. We have most of the players who did the game basically are still on it today and working on it. It's true that we see every week new content and we think it's cool and we have a good feedback about that, but it doesn't mean that everyone else is not working on the game.
Yeah. Thanks for precising. Another question from Twitter user For Tweet Honor. I'm curious to see what the For Honor team does if Knights win round 5, leaving Samurai and Vikings tied at 2 round wins each. What do we do with that?
So it's something we already discussed at the beginning of the stream and last stream, but I think we can still say it.
Yeah, let's do it again.
The winner will be based on the faction who deployed the most war assets. So the more active faction, basically. So even if there is a tie in the end because of a winning Knights, then it's still worth for you to fight today. Even if you're not sure to win the round. Also, and I saw some question about that. It would be very unlikely, but it could happen that the Knights win, and then the Samurai and the Vikings have deployed the exact amount, same amount of war assets. And then if that happens, the game explodes and we all die. No. if that happens, we will just take the position of the faction. So the second faction will be the winning faction, basically, within the round position. But the first way to decide the winner is really the number of war assets deployed.
All right. Other question from Twitter user Asari. Are there any plans to make salvage more useful and to increase item storage space? Perhaps use salvage to change gear looks?
So,
it's a good question.
It's a good question. We noticed that some players have a huge amount of salvage. So it's something we're looking into, how we can improve that and make a better use of your salvage, basically. So it's not something coming soon because we're really looking at it right now and see what could be the options, etc. But in the meantime, I'm not sure everybody knows that, but you can use your salvage for all the heroes of the same faction. So let's say you played a lot the Kensei, for example, and you have a lot of amount of salvage, then you can use that salvage to start the Nobushi, for example, and upgrade way more quickly the items that you get on that hero.
Yeah.
So it's also a good way for you to start new heroes on the same faction by the fact that you have too much salvage.
All right. Other question from My Stash. Does the For Honor team want to help non-newbie tournament organizers doing a venue on For Honor? That's a very good question too. I can take that one.
Yes.
Absolutely. If you want to, I don't know if you want us to support your tournament, to do some promotion, anything, you can reach out to us. You can reach out to me, Space Elephant, to Mr. Pope, to our community managers, FredX919. We have a UB Guy Deal and also a UB Apotheos. So those are all community people working on the game. So if you have any idea, if you want our support, if you want to ask us questions or anything, we're open, and we are very happy that you guys guys are
Oh, yes.
organizing tournaments from all around
yes.
the world, so don't hesitate to reach out to us. Another question here, interesting question from Twitter user SRD Saber. He's asking on the fandom. By the way, you can go see the wiki page that he's running for Honor. I've been posting what I think the tails you guys used for the legendary weapon's name, but I couldn't find Guimond. I found a now deceased Canadian priest by that name though, so I was wondering if Guimond was named in reference to him. Actually, it's a very interesting question. You know, the For Honor team is like a big family, and there's a lot of Easter eggs in the game. There's a lot of references to personal names and things like that. So Guimond actually is not a deceased priest. This is the maiden's name of one of our dev testers' mother.
And best player.
And one of our best players
before
on the
we
team.
launched. No, it might not be true anymore, but before we launched, he was one of the best at the game. So we offered him the opportunity to put a word. And we have a lot of other Easter eggs like that.
Absolutely.
So you can keep digging and try to find the stuff.
Yeah, we could discuss some of these Easter eggs on the Warriors Den eventually as well. So yeah, Guimond, by the way, is it's some gear, heroic gear stuff for the Lawbringer. So it's pretty cool, but it's not a deceased priest or some legendary knights or something like that. There's also a lot of questions on the chat about the Raider, if we plan to do something.
So we don't have anything to announce about the Raider based on the next patch, the patch that comes next week, but we're working on it. So when we'll have new things to announce about it, we will. But right now, sadly, I don't have anything about the Raider for the next patch.
Okay, so we'll see. The team is aware. Roman is actually telling me right now on my earplugs that he's working on it. So we'll see.
It's a Peacekeeper killer, no?
Yeah, that's true. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. So what do we do? This weekend? We have the event order for the executions. We have new outfits. We also have the end of the season, so it's the perfect time to deploy your war assets.
It's a big week to fight for your faction.
Oh yes, it's a very important weekend. Also, don't miss next week's Warriors Den, because we want to celebrate the end of the season. We will have a lot of cool stuff to show you basically next week. Mr. Pope will be back. We'll have a lot of stuff to talk about. So don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions. We'll answer them, and make sure to tune in next week. And like we said in the beginning of the stream, we have a special giveaway today. So we're giving away combat packs again, so make sure to enter the raffle when our buddy FredX will start it on the chat. And we also have some very special thing to give away, and it's in this area here. So is it the Roman framed picture?
Look at his eyes.
It's
daunting.
It's probably worth a couple bucks, especially if he signs it. No, but unfortunately we'll keep Roman with us. But we have this beautiful Apollyon statue to give away today on the chat. So it's collector's edition. It's a limited edition, and we have one for you guys. So make sure to enter the raffle. It's easy. You just type !raffle. I'm pretty sure you know how to do it. And yeah, we have one edition of these beautiful statues to give away today, plus combat packs. So make sure to enter the raffle. And yeah, that's already the end, Damien.
Yes.
See you next week, guys, and make sure to follow us everywhere: Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, the forums, where we're all over the place. And see you on the battlefield.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.